my lovely astrolites. Welcome to Zen the Billionaire Boss. Of course, I'm Mr. Sensational Astral. Welcome to my show. It's been I'd say, pretty crazy couple weeks, as you can tell from the theme of the show, Carnage Kids, which is inspired by the movie Bebe's Kids. Three bad little kids wreaking havoc everywhere they go and things like that. But they exist. They're real. But I call them Carnage Kids because that's all they do. So let me tell you what happened basically. So this one night I'm at work. Everything's chilled out. Uh, I'm pretty much making the donuts, handling my business, doing what I need to do. All these kids come in, and I was talking to who is now, or who is soon to be one of my new fans. Her and her husband, they were pretty much explaining to me what the situation was. This kid was coming up to this other kid, popped him upside the head. All these kids were running amok inside the mall, which forced the manager to have to close the gates down. That's another reason why these kids believe that they're privileged. Because ever since we 86 all these whoopings, they're pretty much like, oh, you can't touch me. And therein lies the problem. And, I was one of those kids who got whooped growing up, I didn't get any bruises or anything. I'll just leave it at that. You can actually still whoop your kid, you just can't leave any marks. So, my parents, they were doing it right. But whoopings aside, these kids need some sort of discipline. And I remember sometime before that last year, I was at McDonald's, and these Carnage kids were harassing the woman, and I was witnessing the whole thing. They wanted something. They wanted a Sprite, if I can remember. I can't remember the entire thing vividly, but one thing I knew for a fact was they were harassing a woman, and she was like, she looked ghost white, like she looked scared to death of these kids because of how they were acting, and this needs to stop. That's the reason I'm making this video, is because you guys need to watch out for these kids. You need to put them in check. These kids they're not disciplined. They're like baby's kids. They're like immature from House Party 3. They have no discipline. They have no structure. And it's really sad. It's really sad to see, and you notice it's more from the black community. It's more from the black kids. You rarely see any of the white kids doing this dumb crap. And it's really sad to see. Give me one sec, you guys. Okay. But that's pretty much, it's so frustrating. I don't even know what to say at this point, because I'm seeing all of these bad kids getting worse. We as grown-ups need to do something. And this wind is bugging the dickens out of me. Just reassess. There we go. But anyway, feel free to express your opinions down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about this specific situation. Because here's how you can tell. Aside from the nasty attitude, they'll be wearing saggy pants. They'll be traveling in groups. They'll wear their hoodies indoors. That's one of the main things. See, when I was growing up, if you were indoors, you wouldn't wear anything over or on top of your head. You'd remove your hoodie, you'd remove your hat, things like that. These kids, these Carnage kids, make us feel uncomfortable. We can't even go to work. I can't even pick up a candy bar at the dollar store. Let me tell you what happened. So, I was going to Dollar Tree before work, and not too far from me, from a distance, I hear these loud, little, noisy, uh, just this group of black kids, right? I go in the Dollar Tree, I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're, will most likely not come in here. They're probably going to their friend's house or whatever. Yeah, wasn't too surprised to see that they actually came into Dollar Tree. And, I thought this was a group of friends just joshing around with each other. But one of them they were getting in a squabble with each other about something. And one of them was like, oh, you don't want the smoke, you don't want this. I'll drop you right now. At that moment, I already knew what was coming before that, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave the store. I'm just gonna go ahead about my business, and yeah, I'm just gonna go get my McDonald's coffee or something. I don't want to deal with this. It's a shame. It's like you can't walk in a store or even go to work. And I have these kids coming in just about every day when I'm on shift. Hey, can I get a water cup? Knowing they most likely steal the soda and put it in that. I know that because I did it before when I was in high school. I've stolen soda, I'll admit it now. I don't do it anymore, but still. Why else would they? Because they don't want to. They'll have like a few dollars left on them. But they know the water cups are free, and they know we have to charge them for soda. So that's how their mind works. It's like, okay, I'll get a water cup, but I'm not gonna pay for no soda. I'm gonna put the soda in my water. That whole Jason Lee Mallrats bullcrap, basically. Like, in Mallrats, where he was carrying the little complimentary water cup and he had soda in it. That's pretty much how it is all around. And I don't play. Like, honestly, whether the manager is around or not, I don't care if I get in trouble. I'm not gonna have some kid punk me while I'm at work, right? I'm not gonna, cause I had that happen back when I worked at the candy store. They're like, "Hey, yo, can I have this?" Or they're trying to, I don't know what that was, but anyway, I heard a clapping noise. But they were like, they're pretty much trying to bargain with me. They were just anywhere I work, I got to deal with these types of kids. I can't even sit on the bus without them without them being loud or disrespectful or anything like that. So, guys, if you see kids like this, don't be afraid of them. Because I'm gonna be straight up that these kids are sissies. And I know some of you are like, "Oh, Astro, that's harsh." But no, it's not. It's the truth. Because here's what they do. When they're all hyped up and ready to fight, or I should say, fight. Because this is what they do. When they want to start something with someone else who most likely doesn't have any backup with them, they'll either jump them, run their mouth, most likely. That's pretty much it. And kids don't know how to fight anymore. It's like they don't know how to box. They just know how to jump people and talk a whole bunch of smack. They don't do this whole one-on-one thing anymore. I'm just like, if I was a kid again, I'd just be like, look, come talk to me after you take some boxing lessons. Otherwise, I'm a dip. Like, I'm gonna bounce basically. Carnage kids, they think they can do whatever they want because they don't believe in consequences anymore. Oh, hey, Lovey, I've been waiting for you. Sorry, I meant to tell you, but I forgot that I put it on my Facebook. But anyway, I'm just glad you're here. Talking about these bad little apples, basically. I'm just like, you kids are talking about. You kids are starting all this nonsense, and half y'all ain't even from the hood. It's like you either live in the suburbs or you live in the good part of the valley. And even people from the hood don't behave like this. Like, I've seen, uh, I've seen gangsters, I've seen ex-gangsters, I've seen hood rats, hood people, basically, and they're actually really chill. You know, people from the hood, but at the same time, they'll be respectful. They'll have manners and things like that. Uh, Basically, Crybaby Walker. You know, he was a bad boy who had good manners. That's basically who I like to talk to. Is like, you can still be a boss and be respectful. You know what I mean? And these kids are not picking up on that. And it's sad to see what our kids are becoming right now. I'm just like, don't start fights unless you actually know how to fight. You know what I mean? I've had enough of these kids. I'll tell them off if I need to, manager or not. I usually just give them a death stare, but that's all I usually need. I deal with these kids every now and again. And they don't scare me. They really don't. I've been through too much hell and high water for some punk kid to be disrespectful and do this, that, and the third. I'm not having it anymore. But that's how you'll know it's they're Carnage kids. I get that. Yeah, they're looking for attention. They aren't getting that home, but they're going about it the wrong way. They're not doing it the way they need to. And all these adults around, all these good adults, they should be picking up on that. They should be like, oh, okay, well, you know what? The way they were talking to this grown up, that's how I should approach a grown up. Like, that's how I should learn to talk to people. It's like you can go up to a grown up, but rather instead of, I was wondering if you could show me how to behave or how to talk to somebody, whether they're at work or whatever. Instead of doing that, they're just like, hey, yo, you got $1 I can use? That's why it's important that these parents spend time with their kids. And negative behavior will also get you a butt whooping from a stranger. I'm just going to say that. Because a grown up like me, they'll just be like, you want to try asking that again with the less nasty attitude? Grown ups like me, they won't play with Carnage kids. They'll tell them like it is. You wanna act like you're grown up, you're gonna get talked to like you're grown up. That's basically how black and white it is with these kids. But this madness needs to stop. And you'll see it's mostly from the black kids. That's the sad part about it. It's like well, I explained it earlier. Carnage Kid is basically a baby's kid, but that's what I call it because it sounds more catchy. And the name speaks for itself, Lovey. Carnage Kids basically they're disrespectful. They never take their hoods off indoors. Uh, they want to start fights with all the other kids, minding their own business. Uh, Basically, future criminals. That's what I'd call it. But it doesn't have to be like that. They're acting like this because they don't get enough attention at home, like Juliana was saying. That is why I said it is important that you spend time with your kids. Because I know some of y'all parents ain't even that busy. Yes, they need hobbies, exactly. Whether it's wrestling, whether it's boxing. You know, some of these older generations, they would even do that with the younger generation. They'd be like, they would take these kids who were on the path to self-destruction and just be like, you're going to join my gym every day after school. That way you don't end up doing drugs, selling drugs, getting into bad habits, and what have you. That's what the older generation did with this younger generation. They'd be like, you're going to join my gym every day after school. Your parents are always working. They rarely have time to spend with you. And I get that you're angry. So use that aggression at my gym, in my ring. Let's handle business. That's what the older generation, I'd say, used to do. I don't see them doing it these days. You know, if I had my own, like my own little spot with the wrestling ring, that's what I'd do. You know, I'd help these kids on the path to self-destruction, like I was saying, and I'd just be like, look, you're picking fights, you're doing things you aren't supposed to do, so here's what I want you to do. You're gonna come. They need their grandparents too, exactly, yeah. But a few of those kids aren't even that lucky to still have their grandparents. That's the thing. But like I was saying, like I would be helping these kids too. Like if I had a place for, I would just be like, okay, so you're gonna join my gym, my wrestling ring, because I don't want you getting into bad habits anymore. I don't want you doing this, that, and the third. And you're going to be better for it after you walk out those doors. That's what it needs to be like again. That's what we need to start doing again. We need to get these kids back into doing good things. And back into being in good habits, doing good deeds, things like that. They need hobbies. They need somebody who's going to give them some sort of attention. Why they're not getting it at home is beyond me. I don't know. But there's no excuse for the behaviors. And sometimes they'll get influenced by the other kids. And they'll think it's okay to act like that. It's not. All these Carnage kids need to They need hobbies. They need some sort of attention. They need to box. They need to wrestle. Some form of physical activity so they can blow off steam and go home feeling like they're light on their feet, basically. That's what they need. But I'd say that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Uh, really think about what I said, and remember, these kids, right, to get all the aggression out. These kids need hobbies. They need role models. They need something to do and somewhere to go. So just remember that next time you're at work, next time you're at the store, you see kids like these, be their role model. Be someone that they can look up to and be proud of. But anyway, that's all the time I got for you guys. I appreciate you watching. And basically, I hope you guys have a good week. Enjoy this upcoming weekend. We're almost done with the first month of the year, so yay us. We'll talk soon. Bye.